Hello everyone, my name is Mr. B and welcome back to another video. So this anime season has been, in my opinion, a bit disappointing. Sure, you have returning shows like Mushoku Tensei and Jujutsu Kaisen being really good, as well as some solid new shows as well like My Happy Marriage, but overall this whole season has been kind of underwhelming in my opinion compared to other anime seasons throughout this year. And it's one of the main reasons why I haven't made a video because, well, there's just no shows or nothing for me to talk about. I could do a video about Jujutsu Kaisen and Mushoku Tensei, but pretty much everyone and their mom has been talking about these shows already. One show that I thought would be kind of interesting to talk about would be Zom 100. 100 Things I Want to Do Before I Become Zombie. I thought the first episode was pretty good, but because of how popular this anime has become and how many people have already talked about it, I sort of just scrapped the idea. That was until I saw the live action trailer. Yes, you heard that correctly. I was excited for a live action adaptation of Zom 100 that was being done by Netflix. I saw the trailer and thought, this looks kind of good. And I thought, well, why not make a video about this? And so, with the movie having just released and having just seen it as well, I figured, why not talk about it? Why not give my thoughts about the movie? Is the movie good? Is the movie worth watching? Or is it just going to be part of the long list of failed, mediocre, or bad anime and manga adaptations? Well, hopefully, I'll be able to answer all those questions in this video. The live action adaptation, Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, is directed by Yusuke Ishida, who's done incredible shows such as Afro Tanaka, Remind, and Saburiman Kantoro, which does have a 7.5 rating on IMDb to be fair, so he's not a bad director by any means, but definitely not a well-known one. Pretty much all his works has been TV shows, and this is going to be his first feature film. To those of you who don't know what the story of Zom 100 is about, Zom 100 basically follows the main character, Akira Tendo, who works for an exploitative company, or otherwise known as a black company. And one day he finds himself in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and he celebrates because he does not have to go to work anymore. And so he creates a bucket list filled with 100 things he wants to do before he becomes a zombie. That is the that is pretty much the whole plot of this whole movie. The acting in the movie, in my opinion, was pretty good. The reason why I wanted to watch the live action adaptation was because in the trailer, the actor portraying Akira Tendo, I thought was really good. I think he captured everything that I thought about Akira, his upbeat personality and his depression, I say, when in his job. So I think the actor did a really good job at capturing who Akira was, and watching the whole movie, he was definitely one of the best parts of the movie. Akira is being played by Eiji Akaso, who is apparently an up and coming actor in Japan and is growing in popularity recently in Japan. But this is the first time I'm seeing his performance, and like I said before, he gave an incredible performance, and I just loved his portrayal of Akira. Mai Shiraishi and Shuntaro Yanagi, who both play Shizuka and Kenichiro, were also really good as well. The whole dynamic between Shizuka, Akira, and Kenichiro when they were traveling together were, to me, the highlight of the movie. Just seeing these characters just hanging out with one another, experiencing stuff together was definitely the best part of the movie, in my opinion. I'm not the best judge of acting, but I feel like these three, as well as pretty much all the actors, did a really good job with the acting and the portrayal in the movie, as well as the zombies. People have been talking about how ridiculous the zombie looks, but to me, they look pretty good. Overall, in terms of acting, I'd say everything was pretty good. There was nothing too bad that got me out of the scene or whatever. There was nothing too glaringly bad about the acting. The movie, for the most part, follows the manga. They did change some stuff. For example, instead of rugby, Akira is an American football player in college. The movie also shows Akira working more as part of a production company, like actually going to sets and stuff, instead of just doing a desk job, like how the manga and anime portrayed. Akira's crush, who I forgot the name of, instead of an accountant, she's actually a producer, part of the company. So they did make some changes from the manga, but they weren't too many like overall big changes compared to the manga. And for the most part, the changes that they did to me do kind of work because there are some stuff that you can get away with in manga and anime form, but you just can't really do it in live action form. Like for example, Kenichiro is this buff 6 foot tall dude in the manga, but in the movie he's just like a normal dude. And while he does share the same charisma as the manga counterpart, he definitely isn't the same Kenichiro as we see in the manga. So there are differences from the manga in the live action, but again, nothing too glaring, and most of the changes do work because they have to make these changes in order to work in live action form. So the best I could describe is that the movie is sort of a more realistic version of the manga and the anime. I mean, realistic enough where you have zombies and zombie sharks with legs going around, but you get what I mean. Which brings me to the big question: is the movie good? Is the movie worth watching? For this, I definitely think it depends on certain factors. Of course, this being a manga adaptation, how accurate it is to the manga would definitely play a part in how good the movie is for a lot of people. But there's also those people who would just nitpick every little thing about a live action movie just because it is a live action adaptation of a manga. So it is definitely one of those cases where you have to see it for yourself and form your own opinion, because everyone would probably view this movie differently. But because this is my video in my channel, I'm going to say what I think. And what I think about this movie is, I think it's a really good movie. I enjoyed this movie way more than I thought I actually would. I should mention that I'm not the biggest fan of zombie in media. Zom 100 is one of the few examples of zombie media that I was able to get into. And the main reason why I was able to get into Zom 100 was because I was interested to see how far Akira was going to go and the stuff that he's going to do on his bucket list. But saying that, I only ended up reading one volume of the manga, so my knowledge of Zom 100 only comes from that one volume and for episodes that are out from the anime at the time of me recording this, which the movie pretty much covers in like 30 minutes. So my knowledge of how good the adaptation is only covers that whole 30 minutes. But seeing that whole 30 minutes, I'd say they did a good job at adapting the source material. Yes, they did change some stuff, but the changes that they made weren't enough to sort of make this a different movie. It still feels like I'm watching a Zom 100 adaptation. It doesn't feel like a movie that just shares the same name as Zom 100. It feels like a good adaptation. So in terms of perfect adaptation, I can't really say anything because I don't really know. But for me personally, I enjoyed this movie from start to finish. And overall, that is how I feel about this movie. I think it is a fun 7 out of 10 movie if you just turn your brain off and just have some fun. Again, this is coming from someone who doesn't know the source material that much. And so if you are a manga reader, you might have a different opinion about the movie, but judging the movie on its own, I think it's really, really good. And I think it's definitely doing something good when it comes to anime and manga adaptations, because if this is the quality that we're going to see in the future, I'd say we're on a good track to see more and more good manga and anime adaptations. So yeah, if you reach the end of this video and you haven't watched the movie yet, go ahead and watch it. Seriously, it's just a lot of fun. Just, you know, give it a chance. Don't go into it trying to hate it because it's a live action adaptation. Don't just hate it because it's just so different from the manga and the anime. Just try to enjoy the movie as it is, and grab some snacks, grab some popcorn, grab some drinks, and just enjoy, because it is a fun movie and one that I definitely would recommend. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.